Tyranids are the main antagonist in Space Marine 2, at least initially. Today, I'm going to show you how you can play the Tyranids in Stellaris, but is it actually effective? First, I will go over the build, then I will give you my experience with it and whether or not it is actually effective or if you should just play it for fun. First off, if you want to know how to play this build, I already have a Devouring Swarm build guide. I highly suggest watching this also, as it will give you tips on how to play Stellaris using a build like this. Also, you will need DLC to play this build. I will list which DLC to get. If you are on the fence or have mixed feelings about Stellaris DLC, watch my Stellaris DLC guide. Then decide for yourself if you want to give this build a shot. All the info about this should be in the description. Please call me out if it is not. So let's begin. First, we are going to go over how to set it up, starting with appearance. There were not a lot of arthropods that resembled the Tyranids except this one. It is the most xenomorph-like portrait. Species, name, Tyranid. Tyranids, Tyranid. Bio is whatever you want, but let's do a little bit of lore here. The name Tyranid in Warhammer 40k comes from the system Tyran, where they were first encountered, hence the name Tyranid. Name list did not seem like a big deal. I would just pick whatever sounds better to you, but make sure it's arthropod. Now, for traits, obviously Tyranids are repugnant, so we need to put that down. Rapid breeders is a no-brainer, plus resource bonuses. Now for planet type. Now really you could choose anything here, as there is no known information in the lore as to where the Tyranids originated from, as they are an extragalactic species. I felt Arctic was the most appropriate, but then again, maybe their preferred planet is tropical, as it would have the most biomass. So a debate could be had there. They were first encountered on Tyran Primus with the star Tyran. So if you really wanted to mince, you could just go with the planet type Tyran was. So there are options here. As for city appearance, a lot of choices would fit here with the exception of humanoid, mammalian, reptilian, and anything that looks like skyscrapers for obvious reasons. Should look like a nest, I think. For origin, this one's tricky because you could definitely make a case for void dwellers. However, the Tyranids, while fleet-based, did not really build anything like habitats, and they do inhabit planets. There is even one where they have not stripped it but have built a megastructure on it. The purpose of this megastructure is not known. So because of this, Progenitor Hive Mind made much more sense to me, as the Tyranids actually function this way in the lore. There are key units in the Tyranid forces that, like the Offspring units, if taken out greatly weaken the Tyranids. So I say pick Progenitor Hive for the origin. Now for government and ethics. For ethics, we picked Gestalt Consciousness. The Tyranids are under the control of a single entity collectively known as the Hive Mind, which of course is what you pick as authority as well, Hive Mind. Devouring Swarm is critical to the build thematically for obvious reasons. The Tyranids are really what this civic drew its inspiration from. You even get the Hunger Casus Belli on all empires, just like the Tyranids of 40k. The second pick, you have many options. Choose what you think is best. However, I do not feel innate design makes sense thematically, as the Tyranids are constantly evolving and tampering with their genetics. I don't think Genesis symbiotes make sense either. Advisor is kind of weird for this build. Hive Mind will work, but the thing is that the Tyranids don't talk as far as I've read or heard. The Ultramarines librarian Tigerius, I think that's how I pronounce his name, did make brief contact with the Hive Mind, and it was pissed, but I'm not sure what audiobook it was. Would love some clarity on that one. What do you guys think is the best advisor here? I could think of some funny ones, like Xenophile for example was absolutely hilarious when I tried it. I mean, after all, the Blorg are friendly creatures, right? And the Tyranids, if you think of it, love all Xenos. They taste very good. So for Empire name, we chose the Hive fleet that Lieutenant Titus himself fights in Space Marine 2, Hive Fleet Leviathan. This is also the main force that the Imperium is fighting in the current lore, but there are many Hive fleets you can choose from: Hive Fleet Kraken or Behemoth, for example. So for flag, the two symbols that make sense are the xenomorph symbol from both Domination and Zoological. I chose a dark blue color for the flag, but do what you will here. Ship type is tough too. I don't think any of the ship types do the Tyranids justice. I picked Molluscoid, but really that's not even close, because Tyranid ships are not mechanical, they are biological. I hope Paradox adds some bioships at some point, or some good hive mind DLC like they did for machines. So for starting ruler, I picked Norn Queen. That is usually the Tyranid in control of the hive fleets themselves. They still serve the hive mind, of course, but have direct control over Hive Fleet Leviathan. Feel free to choose whatever color scheme you want as well. Let me know if you know what color Hive Fleet Leviathan is. Leader trait is your preference, though I picked Mining Rush for meta reasons. Mineral gain is king with hive minds, as their research costs minerals, in addition to other mineral costs. That's it, guys. There was less to cover here than with the Imperium of Man. If you want to know how to play the Tyranids effectively, I have a great and popular hive mind and Devouring Swarm video you should definitely watch. But if you already know how to play Stellaris, then have fun with this build and tell me what you think. Also, if you need to know how Stellaris works in general, my channel is full of tutorials and guides. I will link this stuff in the description. Now for the performance. This build is no different than your average Devouring Swarm, which is crazy strong. So I generally had the same experience with this build I had with other Devouring Swarm builds I played in the past. I was easily able to sweep across the galaxy and eliminate all other empires in a timely manner, well before the end here. So yeah, I do not think making the theme took away from the performance in the game at all. So if you're used to Devouring Swarm, you will see no difference between this build and others like it that you have played. I think overall this was an exciting build, though it would have fit thematically better if there was more content in the game, like more alien advisors with hostile alien voices. For example, a voice like Zagara's in StarCraft 2 would have been perfect as an advisor for the Tyranid hive mind, or at least close enough. Also, I will admit that there was not much other than aesthetics that really differentiated this build from other popular Devouring Swarm builds, but that's because this Civic was inspired by the Tyranids directly. So in Stellaris, if you play Devouring Swarm, you are actually playing Tyranids, but it could be argued that Zerg was inspired by Tyranids too, so. That being said, overall great build. If you're looking for something powerful to play and don't like to make friends or do diplomacy, and you love 40k and are tired of playing humans, give this build a try. Anyway, take care guys. If you liked the video, like and leave a comment. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the join button if you want to invest in the channel. Hop on Discord and attend my live streams to hang out with me. Super chat or super thanks if you think I deserve it. Thanks for the view. I'll see you next time.